How's it going, guys? Football-ManagerYouthDevelopment.co.uk here. In this episode, we're going to be playing a game against Manchester City at home. In the last episode, we played Norwich and we won that one 2-0. I did obviously mention the team has been on pretty horrendous form recently, so we did actually manage to beat Norwich in the last episode. We then went on to lose to Southampton 2-0. We had a very, very good result against Hull, which I will show you the highlights of. We drew against Middlesbrough, and unfortunately in our last game we lost 3-0 against Swansea, which to be honest was a complete kick in the teeth. So if we have a look at the league table now, we can see that we are on 9 points, having won only 2 games, and we've only drawn 3 games. So this season, I think, unfortunately, we will definitely be getting relegated by the looks of things. So obviously in the last game, we lost against Swansea 3-0, and you can see that Swansea are currently in 17th position at the moment. Even if we did go on quite a decent run, I really do not think that we're going to be catching any of the teams that are above us at the moment. So obviously I did highlight it in the last episode, but just take a look at this real bad run of games that we got coming up. So it's going to be starting against Man City in today's episode, but then we got Manchester United, Everton, Man City in the FA Cup third round, Liverpool, Arsenal, Tottenham and Chelsea. Do you know what I mean? This run of games is just absolutely disastrous, to be honest. It wouldn't be too bad maybe if we had the odd game that was potentially winnable, but at the moment I honestly cannot see us getting any points out of pretty much all of these games, which is quite disappointing. It's quite good that the run in to the end of the season is a little bit easier, but certainly I do think that we're all these games here, we'd be lucky if we get any sort of draws and things like that. I'm obviously going to have to just make sure it's going to be pot luck basically if I do end up losing my job. It's 53% at the moment and I am unstable. But yeah, just, in the Premier League at the moment, it's just been an absolute barrage, of just bad results. And I don't necessarily want to blame the kind of fixture build-up, but certainly having Man United, Liverpool, Everton, Tottenham, Arsenal and Chelsea at the beginning of the season, when we did get to some games that potentially we should have won, like this QPR game, because we had already lost 6 games in a row, our morale was just absolutely rock bottom. And then you can see we just went on the most horrendous run. We were just absolutely leaking goals left, right and centre. Obviously in the Norwich sort of game, it gave us a little faint bit of hope. Obviously I wasn't really expecting to beat Southampton. The whole game was a very good result, but yeah, going on kind of recently, it's just gone back to normal stuff really. So we'll have a look at the goals for the whole match just before we get ready for this Man City game. Okay, so I do think this game pretty much typifies our season so far. So we did actually get off to quite a decent start in the game. So Varela with the cross on the right hand side, ball is knocked inside to Furman. And Tarvin actually managed to get a goal in this game. That was actually his second goal of the season. To be honest, he has completely flopped this season, unfortunately. One of our sort of big money buys. Iwobi actually made it 2-0 to us in the 71st minute, which was his 4th game. So as you saw there in the commentary, it said that this should put the game beyond Hull now. But of course, considering how bad our season has been going this season, Hull get the ball down the right-hand side and their striker makes it 2-1 in the 79th minute. So coming into the 86th minute of the game, Harry Maguire makes it 2-2. At this stage, I'm basically thinking we've absolutely got no chance of getting anything back in this game. But a couple of minutes later, we do actually manage to, pull the game level to make it 3-2 to us. You can see that we did actually manage to have quite a fair number of shots on goal. Obviously, Hull did as well, but I kind of just went for the mentality basically just to attack as much as possible and just trying and, just see if we could outscore Hull. Obviously it did work out all right in the end, but yeah, being 2-0 up for them to pull it back to 2-0, obviously it wasn't exactly the most exciting game for me, but I'll get the team ready for this Man City game now and then we'll crack on with that one. Okay then guys, so yeah, I think the team's pretty much as ready as they can be today for this game against Man City. So in goal, we're going to go for Vivano, Gunter at left back, Bayer, Byrne, Varela, Kashi, Delaney, Furman, Ledley, Iwobi and Jermaine up front. So my basic idea with this kind of real crap run of games that we got coming up, that I sort of mentioned earlier, all these really, really difficult games. I think all I can really do is just look to go on counter-attacking shape, keep it potentially quite structured. I think if I do go for a counter-attacking mentality, all I can really do is look to potentially use the pace of Iwobi. Let Furman run forward as much as he wants to. Obviously, hopefully, Jermaine will kind of hold up the ball with the target man. Sort of play a role, but I do honestly think it's going to be quite catastrophic. I think this run of results that we're going to be having come up here at the moment, in terms of our sort of tempo and things like that, potentially I might go for like a normal tempo just so that we can at least try and sort of shut them down as much as possible. I'm going to go fairly narrow as well. I think that might be quite a good thing to do. I don't think I'm going to exploit the left or right flanks. I can't really see the kind of point in doing that at the moment. Potentially I might exploit the right flanks actually, just so that we can maybe release Alex Iwobi as much as possible. But yeah, I do honestly think it's going to be pretty tough kind of doing this. So yeah, we'll crack on with the game, guys, and just see how we get on with this one. So within the first 10 minutes here, we're trying to bring the ball forward with Ledley. The ball gets knocked in the middle to Kashi, who's going to hopefully put the ball on. He does put it on to Ledley. On the right-hand side here is Varela. Knocks it in. Kashi on the edge of the box onto Ledley. Not a bad start from us, to be honest. So obviously we need to be careful of Aguero. We did close him down pretty closely there. You can see within the first 10 minutes we've actually had 61% possession and they've had 39% possession so far. What I'm going to do is just passionately encourage the players just to try and give them as much morale as possible. So we're still pushing Manchester City forward here. So Ledley with the shot on the edge of the area, and unfortunately that does go over. So if we could maybe get up to half time, I reckon, in this game. I'm probably speaking a little bit too soon here. I have spoke too soon, unfortunately. So yeah, Otamendi with his first goal of the season to score and make it 1-0 to Man City. So I think, unfortunately, with all these, kind of tough run of games that we have got coming up, as soon as the other team does go 1-0 up, that pretty much puts all of my kind of tactics and game plans completely out the window. We were having quite a number of shots on target, but obviously not having any actually hit the target, which is pretty unfortunate. So Aguero going very, very close there to making it 2-0 to Man City. Silva with the ball on the edge of the box. We're trying to press Man City as much as possible, but they're finding it all too easy, just passing the ball around us at the moment. The ball is down the right hand side. Gunter tries to make a tackle. He's not able to, but our goalkeeper does manage to tip that over for a corner to Man City, which Silva is going to take. Kashi is not going to win the ball there. Sterling is running through us like really easy. Kashi knocks the ball onto Furman. I do think that's probably going to be the end of the highlights quite soon. Iwobi tries to get the ball across. Looks like that was a little bit of a shot come across, but yeah, Furman gets the ball into the middle. Ledley pumps it forward to Delaney. I must say I'm fairly happy with our kind of shape at the moment. I do know that we're obviously 1-0 down here, and obviously we're unfortunately not taking too many shots, which is something I'm probably going to have to try and address in the second half. But I do think, if possible, if we might be able to go in 1-0 at half time, that might be fairly decent for us at the moment. So De Bruyne with the ball on the edge of the area. Again, we do close Man City down quite quickly. I have got it on counter-attack, so a lot of my players should be streaming forward, hopefully, here. Kashi with the ball knocks it out to Delaney. He plays it back to Bauer. Ledley with the ball in the middle onto Furman. Again, we are keeping the ball quite nicely, but it's not really getting us anywhere, to be honest. So Company knocks the ball forward to De Bruyne. It'd be pretty gut-wrenching if we do actually concede another goal here just before half-time. We're certainly flying in with the tackles here. We managed to clear the ball, but the ball doesn't unfortunately drop to any Charlton players here. So Kondogbia, this guy Florenzi, whatever he's called, he's getting the ball a hell of a lot on the right-hand side, so I might have to look to try and make a little bit of a change for that. So Sterling with the ball in the middle. Again, we block another shot from Manchester City, and we do try and launch a counter-attack, but nothing actually amounts to that. So, obviously we're not exactly expected to come away with anything in these games at all, which, it does kind of suck. I think all I can really do is just go for standard. I'm going to try my luck at just making us a little bit more flexible, just to sort of see if we can try and break away with the ball a little bit more. Maybe if I look for the overlap or something like that. I'm kind of running out of ideas, to be honest, in terms of things that we can do. If you do have any ideas of things that you think I should try here, obviously these are my tactics, that I'm trying to use at the moment. Just feel free to let me know what sort of things you would maybe try if you're in my position. But yeah, we'll see how we get on with the second half anyway, guys. Okay, so we're up to the 60th minute now, guys, and there's been a fair amount of Man City shots, but none of them are really going on target. So I do think it's quite unfortunate at the moment. We do find ourselves 1-0 down at the moment. I made a couple of changes to the tactics. So what I've decided to do is get Fox to be a complete wing back on attack. My thinking with that basically is that he's going to kind of push forward. So Fox's crossing ability is 14 at the moment. So the idea basically is that Delaney will kind of push back around here. Fox will sort of like overlap him and hopefully get some decent crosses in. Obviously, it hasn't particularly happened at the moment, unfortunately, which is quite unfortunate for us. But yeah, that's my kind of idea at the moment, just to kind of make something try and happen. Obviously, I've still got a Iwobi on the right-hand side, just trying to be, like a winger, just to try and get them crosses in as quickly as possible. I do think I'm going to have to just try and push the game a little bit more if I can. So I'm just going to go for a higher tempo. I'm not going to try and retain the possession of the ball anymore, I don't think either. I do honestly think that, with the way Man City are playing, I do think we've just got to kind of go for something here. Obviously, we're losing 1-0 at the moment here, so it doesn't particularly matter if we do end up sort of losing by a few more goals here. We just need to at least try to, get a goal back. So guys, we have actually managed to do it. We've managed to make it 1-1 against Man City here. So, like I mentioned earlier, we watched this in 3D highlights, guys, but obviously I mentioned about Fox just bombing forward as much as possible. You can see here that we've got Jermaine, we got Furman, Ledley and Iwobi at the back post here. So obviously my game plan was just to get Fox forward as much as possible, get them crosses in the box. He puts in a lovely cross into the area. So Furman takes an initial shot which rebounds off the defender, but Furman is there to follow up on the rebound to make it 1-1 here between Man City and Charlton. So obviously there's not too much long left to go now, guys. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to keep things as they are at the moment. Just really on the hope that we can try and, sort of keep this result. I think it'd be absolutely fantastic if we do actually manage to keep this result. I can see Jermaine's playing quite horrendously at the moment. I'm just going to wait and see what happens with this chance here. So fantastic block by Fox there. De Bruyne with the ball onto Silva, Kondogbia, and that does go out for a goal kick to us. So I know Man City are going to certainly be pressing us for the remainder of this game. Aguero, again, our defence does stand up quite nicely, and Iwobi does bring it forward. So Cresswell with the ball on the left-hand side here for Man City. Silva brings it forward. Kondogbia. De Bruyne is there as well. Dania down the right-hand side for Man City. We are certainly putting in a hell of a lot of tackles here, which is absolutely fantastic. Again, another shot for Man City, and it does end up going out of play. So, with the breaking play, I'm going to look to bring one of our other strikers on. Obviously, I'm not happy at all with the form of Jermaine at the moment. He's been, absolutely horrendous. So, obviously, not too long left now, guys. We'll just crack on with the rest of this game and see how it goes. So, big tackle by Delaney on the left-hand side. We try and bring the ball forward, but it's not particularly happening here. What I'm actually going to do, guys, so I'm going to lower the tempo. We do definitely need to retain possession of the ball here. We do look to just be giving the ball away really, really too quickly at the moment. So, Iwobi, we might actually be able to catch them on the counter-attack here. Ledley, he should have taken a shot. So, Kondogbia with the ball on the left-hand side for Manchester City. There's really not too long left to go now at all. So I think I'm going to have to just go defensive here, guys, and just make sure that we do see out the rest. Rubbish. Let's just see what happens here. So the cross comes in. Burn manages to get a little bit of a cross. Sort of header on it. Silva with the ball on the right-hand side. Kashi with another big tackle. Silva, and the ball goes out of play here, guys. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to make Kashi be a defensive midfielder. limited fullbacks just to make sure that none of our fullbacks are pushing forward or doing anything fancy whatsoever. Iwobi, we're just going to put on support. Furman, I'm going to put on support as well, just as a centre midfielder. And I'm pretty happy just with everything else. I think what I'm going to do is put our striker just on attack on the sort of target man role, just to sort of kind of see how it goes. Yeah, I think that's probably as best as I can do at the moment. So obviously not too long left in this game at the moment. We'll crack on here. So this is going to be a goal kick to us. We have made all of our tactical kind of changes and things like that. So obviously Vivano is just taking his time with the goal kick here. So Ledley chucks the ball out wide to Iwobi. Obviously I've slowed the tempo of the game right down here. Can we get a late goal here? Doesn't look like we can, but certainly we need to stop Aguero kind of moving forward here. So more than happy for Varela to concede a free kick there, I guess. So yeah, thank God we did actually manage to keep hold of that ball there. Vivano, that should be the end of the game pretty soon here. So it's gone well over the 2 minutes now, referee, so blow your whistle. Iwobi is running the ball forward, takes it out wide, and that is full time. So like it said at the bottom, Charlton will take this. I certainly will take this as a result. I do think, that considering the run of the games we've got, I'm definitely more than happy. That's, the game plan that we've had basically coming into this game, guys. That's what I'm going to be doing over the next 6-7 games that we've got against all them really, really difficult teams. If I can nick a win out of, maybe a couple of them or something like that, then yeah. So obviously we've got a real tough run of games coming up. If you have enjoyed this episode, guys, do leave a like on the video, subscribe to the channel if you've not done so already, and I do want to hear your comments on sort of tactical changes that you might look to do if you're in my position. But thanks for watching this episode.